You're ready.
God has a mohawk. God has a mohawk.
Anyways, this is Signal Soundbytes. I'm Brandon Peña, managing editor of The Signal, and with me today are...
Leif Hayman.
Lindsay, Floyd.
Crystal.
Oh, are you like Beyonce now?
You don't get my last name. I don't need stalkers.
You realize that it gets posted anyways, right?
With all my links.
Yeah.
You'll find out, I guess. It's cool.
Alright, so today we are talking about a lot of different things, but most importantly we're talking about one that actually Leif brought up, which is digital
distractions.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, where to start? You know, our everyday lives are kind of saturated with digital media and distractions and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, and the possibilities are kind of endless. So, I mean, as college students going into finals, what do we do to better manage our time and better manage our attention? That's what I want to know. And I have some suggestions here.
Some ideas for
We can throw them out now, or we can wait till later.
Well, how much do y'all use your social media on a regular basis?
I get on Facebook all the time.
I know
I get on Facebook when I don't even think about it. It just is second nature to
I'm
me.
there.
I leave Facebook open a lot too, so I think my time is a little off here.
Yeah.
This is saying I use Facebook for 2 hours a day on my phone. And
believe
YouTube for about 2 hours. And then texting for about 2 hours. Nope, Facebook's gone up to 3 hours. Okay. So that's like, that's a good chunk of my day. But I'm doing other stuff, of course.
Well, in the last 24 hours, it says on my phone that I've used it 1.5 hours. And then in the last 7 days, I've used it like 9.5 hours. So that's...
Okay, no, I was looking at the 7-day total. Let's go to today.
For the last 7 days, I
jeez.
use Instagram for 5.8 hours. And then Facebook. And then Snapchat.
I mean, the next social media I want to have is like Twitter, and that was like 56 minutes within the last week.
Yeah.
So that's like nothing.
Mine's Facebook and YouTube and texting.
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and texting. But I use YouTube mainly to listen to music in the background.
Yeah. I listen to comedians and news.
But I was doing a little research, and listening to music is actually not as big of a distraction as social media. I mean, obviously, music, you can kind of tune it out, but with social media, you interact with it.
Yeah.
You know, you like something. So listening to music, people, you know, actually do to help kind of tune out the distractions around them, their peripheral distractions. And one thing I found that mobile phone interference in life, they call it, it's viewed as a dependence or an addiction. And that's pretty insane, you know, getting on your phone every day, like you can be a super clean cut person and not know you have an actual addiction.
Yeah.
Because it feels like an addiction where you're constantly on it, you're constantly checking it, and you have your phone on you all the time. Like I have my phone everywhere with me.
I'm looking at it now. Okay.
Yeah. Sitting right next to me.
While we're talking.
While we're talking, I am just scrolling
But
through Facebook.
I read some research once that talked about how, and I can't quote the research or where it came from. It was you know, probably about 4 or 5 years back. But the research said that these links, like seeing a link, reading something and seeing blue text, or seeing an ad or something like that pop up, or seeing options, buttons. So whenever you read over that, even if it's just in an ebook you're reading, one of the words is linked. Whenever you read over that, your mind has to make a decision whenever you're reading over that link. So it makes a decision to click it or not click it. But in that making that decision, it depletes your short-term memory. So your active memory, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, everything you were just concentrating on just completely drops out of your mind.
Just because you saw blue text and you had to make a decision. And so you have, what is it, about 7 seconds of memory that you're working with at any given moment.
And then one of
I don't know the exact.
The long-term effects of, you know, just being addicted to social media and media in general is you have a limited ability to ignore the like distractions around you, which obviously lead to poor performance. So I mean, it's not as detrimental to your health as being addicted to drugs, but it's still a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've run into is like being on the computer and working on a project or something, or writing a paper and like getting on Facebook or watching a YouTube video or getting on Reddit or, you know, any of the options, any of the things. For me, it's those. But so there's 3 tools that I found, specifically, no, there's about, 3 tools and then one to help you wake up on time that I found, which is pretty cool. So the first one is for Firefox. It's called Leech Block. We'll link it. We'll link all these in the post.
Yeah.
So Leech Block allows you to set time limits, and so does the other one for Chrome. It's called Stay Focused. But they let you set time limits in your browser, and you can only visit Facebook for 10 minutes in a 2-hour time span. And then you can set, I only want that to occur between 9 and 10 o'clock whenever I need to be doing work. Or you can set it for 24 hours a day, you're always limited. And then to change the options, you have to go in, you have to type in this like really long, complicated password that's randomly generated. It's about, well, you can choose like 32 characters, 64, 128. I mean, and you can disable this stuff and you can use Facebook if you're really determined to use Facebook, but what this does is makes you stop and think about it. While you're typing those 128 characters out, you're like, do I really need to be on Facebook right now? Shouldn't I be doing something else? And then that's enough to say,
I feel like I would try it and still be determined to type in all 124 characters.
I'm not gonna lie. And sometimes, if I want to get some research off Facebook, or I remember seeing an article or something, it's kind of a pain in the butt and I still have my phone. And so that's another thing. The phone is there's some options, and another one I found, Rescue Time. That's one we kind of talked about using to track our time, but it also lets you limit your computer use and your phone use. But to do that, they charge a monthly fee. So
yeah,
I'm not into that.
At the start when we talked about this in the meeting, we were gonna each track our usage with different apps. They ask too much of us. And
they want to know everything about you.
They do. They want to know like your location and everything else. And
A screenshot of your battery.
And then we realized they're just getting all this information off of a battery.
Which is already free.
They want the same information we want.
Yeah, it's the same thing that's on your phone. Just go to your general settings and your batteries and you can find it.
Yeah, it's all there.
I think it's kind of hard too, like what you mentioned, there's stuff now that you can use as research on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of messes with people as well. It's that constant I'm on the job kind of thing.
Yeah.
That even if you are trying to use it for fun, this thing will pop up and it's like, oh, I can use that for later, and you save it over here. And it's like, wait, no, I'm just trying to relax. And it kind of gives off that you're always stressing out, I guess, because of media and how easy it is to use it now.
It's a bombardment. We're constantly saturated with it in everything we do.
How do you think somebody who maybe has that as a job for a living, like a social media manager, how do you think they operate with it? Is it maybe too much social media? It's interesting to maybe think about.
Well, I was going to say, for my internship, I do write a lot of social media posts, and I'll link to like Facebook events, or sometimes I'll just need to pull something up from a Facebook page or a Twitter page. And when you search for it in Google, it gives you this annoying thing that comes up when you click on that person's page, whether it's Facebook or Twitter, big block is like, do you want to sign up? Do you want to log in? So it's easier just to log in and see it without having half your screen blocked. And then it's really easy to get distracted because you get a notification and then get sucked into the black hole.
I think what's important with these like add-ons I mentioned is that they're I guess a form of what's the word? The stimuli. It's something to remind you, like an artificial stimuli to remind you. It's you just gotta keep reminding yourself, like, and stay aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Stay aware of everything you're doing. So.
And I think besides all the app blockers or media site blockers you mentioned, I think a good maybe first step to help someone to prepare for finals is is maybe start with just listening to music, because it might be enough and it's not as bad. And you might go through and change a song a few times, which might distract you, but then you can find out that you like listening to music and then it actually helps you study or something. But everybody is different.
That's something I've been doing a lot lately. And I read somewhere that you should focus on music that doesn't have a lot of vocals, because your mind is trained to listen whenever you hear a human voice. And so I like a lot of classical music and
Because I've tried studying with music before, but it's usually like, with the vocals and stuff like that, so I get easily distracted with it.
There's some really cool playlists. Like
I start
rapping.
you search for instrumental playlists or ambient playlists, and then you can get a lot of just something to drown out the artificial stuff around you that's trying to set you off.
I need quiet though.
Sometimes
I can't have background noise at all.
Sometimes I'll find myself, I'll turn off the music and then I'll start writing or something, and I find that I've been in silence for like an hour, and it's like, whoa.
That's interesting.
Zombie apocalypse started. At least my paper's done.
But I have another app here that's kind of useful to me as a student. It's not really about paying attention, but it's more about being on time and waking up, because we sleep for tiny amounts of time, 3 hours, 2 hours at a time, whatever. But so this one is called I Can't Wake Up Alarm Clock, and you set a bunch of permissions on your phone. I recommend paying for it because it takes away the ads. They're kind of annoying. But other than that, I did pay for it because it's so helpful and useful for me.
What does it do?
It goes off incessantly. You can't turn it off until you can set like tasks that you have to do. You can scan a barcode, so you can set the barcode on the other side of your house, and you have to get up and walk across your house and scan that barcode, or your phone is not going to go off, and you can't take out, or you can take out the battery. That's how you turn it off. That's the only way, or delete the app somehow. But it actually has ways to prevent you from deleting the app, or like whenever you turn off your phone, it'll reset and then start blaring again, or it won't let you turn off the phone. Yeah,
Sounds a lot.
It takes control of your phone and it forces you to wake up. Yeah, there's, if you read the reviews, there's some people that get kind of mad about it, where they were in a meeting or something and it went off and they couldn't do anything about it because like the vibration thing on their phone, it couldn't sense that you were shaking it, so that was the task you had to do. But I've learned a lot of state capitals and capitals of different countries, capital cities. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah, Reykjavik.
Very
Iceland, I believe. Yeah.
Iceland.
See, I'm good at this.
interesting stuff. So speaking of digital things, how about esports? This is a brand new, well, I wouldn't necessarily say brand new, but it's becoming more active around campus. We have an esports team, and this could very well be our first official team, our first official sporting team. So what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on esports in general? Do you guys play video games or anything? No?
I quit video games to get back to digital distractions. I quit video games because I was gaming too much.
Okay.
Sold my Xbox, and I kind of got into retro gaming. Diablo 2, it's like 20 years old.
What did you play?
I used to play World of Warcraft, which I recently got back into. It's kind of a bad thing, but it's changed. It's changed a lot. But World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, a lot of Call of Duty, Guitar Hero.
League of Legends, that's apparently a
League
big
of
one.
Legends, I got on the
one.
ground floor of League of Legends, and that's actually one of the things that, I like it because you can go back to it, but it showed me that kind of you can't sit in a room and just play video games all day. Well, you can if you're going to be in the esports club and get a scholarship and go to college and make $100,000 checks from winning tournaments and stuff. So.
That is one of the, I think, interesting points about it, is that they do offer scholarships now for esports, and getting people to enroll. It's even, a thing. To say, hey, we have esports. I personally don't play video games. I suck at them, so I never got into them.
That's why esports to me is kind of, I've never played a ranked match of League of Legends. I played League of Legends in the very beginning in 2010, 2009. But I never played a ranked match because I'm not good. It's just fun. It's fun. What I like League of Legends is you don't have to sit in it for an hour, or you don't have to sit in it for 5 hours or 6 hours. You just play a match. It's like 15, 20, 30 minutes, and maybe an hour long at the longest, and then you can get up and go do something else.
I mean, if it was like Mario Kart on Nintendo 64, then I'm here for it. But otherwise, I'm not good at it.
Well, they're playing Smash Brothers right next door in the other room.
Yeah.
Oh, they are.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to visit them.
Yeah, we could go get them. I could go get them over here and we could talk about esports with them.
You're welcome to do that if you're interested.
Maybe.
You,
Are we gonna do it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
just go for it. Yeah, let's talk about esports.
Just ask if they're in the club.
Yeah, if they're interested in being part of this wonderful podcast. What about you guys? Do y'all play sport? I mean,
I played Call of Duty once, and all I could do was walk in a circle. So I gave that up real fast.
how many minutes?
It was about a good 15 minutes. I couldn't even, had all these people trying to help me out, and you know when people try to help you out and they're really excited and passionate about it, and then you know you don't live up to their expectations. I guess they might feel that they're a bad teacher, or you know.
But I don't understand how you train for that. Like with a regular sport, there's rules. You train, you know how good to get. But with games, I mean, there's always something new coming out, a new Xbox, a new PlayStation. So how do you train and become better when there's all these different improvements made in technology?
Well, maybe our guests can inform us about this. What is your name and what's your major? Tell us about yourself and your gaming experience.
Thank you for having me here. My name is Denzel, and I'm majoring in computer engineering. And we actually have a club for UHCL called eSports. We started forming this club like last semester, so like beginning of fall. And it was a pretty small number that we just started, but as of right now, we have over 70 members, and we're actually growing from just one game to a massive amount of games. At the moment, we already formed one team, and it's for Overwatch, and we got plenty of like Smash players, and we've been hosting a lot of Smash recently. I think this is gonna be our fourth one on April 28th, I believe. April 28th. Now, I would like to talk about like what you were just mentioning, how esport is not actually a sport or is a sport. So there was like a lot of debation talking about over the years. Ever since video game became like competitive, like no one really took the idea or mind saying that like, hey, they're not moving, they're not exercising, they're not like tackling against each other like we see in football or basketball. Like there's no running involved. How is this a sport? How is this actually a thing? And to most people, for like old school, they would be like, yeah, this is not a sport, because back in the day, working hard as in like, you know, determination of your muscle or like the flexibility, or you had to be really agile with the situation that you had to be in for sports. For me, I was in wrestling, and I went to state for wrestling. So I'm not really talking the mind of the gamer, but I've been competing in sports throughout from 7th grade to all the way towards college. Now, I stopped doing sports is because I got injured, and I can't do much anymore. And like as much as I love wrestling, I can't do it again anymore.
So you see esports as a way to
kind of keep your mind active and keep your mind, use that same like mindset, the skill, like the mind skill set.
So like whenever I stopped doing wrestling, because like it was a way for me to actually, you know, I was really good at it. And video games for me was like a hobbyist thing, something like that. It was like more like, you know, back in the day that you can just walk around and be like, hey, I'm best in this game. Really, prove it. Then you beat everyone kid on the block and you're the best. But what if you want to do that with the world? What if you want to do that like with certain type of moment and certain type of games? You can just say like, hey, I'm the best in this moment. However, you can't really say you're the best in the world because, I don't know, you have to win other countries and face their best player. And that's how it is with esports nowadays. It's like, so with certain type of games, like let's talk about like the most popular game, League of Legends. Overwatch, Dota, and CS:GO, Counter Strike, like all those type of games, you put down, you make you find the best player for the team, and you put those best players against other best players around the world, and you have to say like, hey, if you're best in this game, prove it on the big stage. If you beat these players, you're the best in the world, and you will get the title as the best player or best team in the world. Now, I'm gonna go back to the topic of, why esport is a sport or not a sport. For me, it is a sport because it gives you like a mentality, because like a competitive mind. Just because you're not really working out like muscle wise doesn't mean that you're working. Doesn't mean it's not a sport. Sport wise, it requires like physical activity, but it also relates to mentality. Because here's the thing, psychologically, if you want to beat your opponent, you gotta psych your opponent out. You gotta like figure out ways to actually win the game. That's how winning starts, from the mind instead of like the physical activity.
And
so,
you can be as strong and as fast as you want, but if you don't have tactical skill and
exactly. So like most people would believe that Braum would actually be best over brain, because sometimes you just need the muscle to actually perform what you need to do, such as football, wrestling, track, especially track, because you have to be in tip-top shape to be, competing with other people that was faster than you. With video games though, just because you're sitting in one area, one chair, and staring at the screen for numerous amount of hours, it gets tiring. However, it involves with mentality, and it also involves with physical activity too. It's because like you can't just sit there for 20 hours and be okay with it. No, you gotta like get up. You have to be tip-top shape. Not like, the athlete performance, but in a way that's like you actually have to, how can I put it into words? How can I say this? I would just say like, for me, I should say like from my personal experience, I've been competing in like esports. I started competing like a few years ago. I was in a team playing the game Dota 2. I was playing on the European team, and we won like numerous amount of tournaments. We wanted to go pro. However, our dream got shattered when we actually went up against actual pro players in the scene. Our dream got shattered. However, we had proof to say that we actually, got the taste of the esport. We got tested the competition. Because like, it's not just you versus somebody around the corner. It's you versus some of the players around the world. And you beat some of the players. So that means that you gain the experience of like, competition around the world, stuff like that. Instead of like you just saying like, hey, I'm the best on the block. No, it's not like that. But like, for the physical mind, for me, I just have to, like stretch and stuff like that, because posture, it's the same thing as working. Staring at the screen for like, I don't know, some people stare at the screen for like more than 12 hours a day. Just constantly just sitting there. Most people will be like, well, you don't move, you don't eat, you don't stuff like that. No, but really, they actually train their, the mentality of like
mental stamina.
Mental stamina, I should say. Yeah, exactly.
And so you're talking about the competitiveness of it, and so there's a lot of money in that right now. Are we getting in on that at UH Clear Lake? Are y'all going to start a team and win some money for us? Build us a new science building.
Yeah. So at the moment right now, like since we're a new club, we were expecting like at first when we made the club, we were just like, hey, we're not gonna get that big because this is a school that's really involved with academics and stuff like that. No one's gonna be really interested. However, due to the amounts of like popularities and members that we have, and we gain recognition from other schools such as University of Utah, they contacted us saying that, hey, you guys have a team? We know about you. We would like to scrim with y'all. They want to scrim with our Overwatch team.
Yeah.
And like this is all happening in 1 year. And normally it doesn't happen because in most clubs, it takes like a couple of years just to get recognition and stuff like that. But no, we just got recognition from the start saying like, hey, we know where you're going, we know where you guys are coming from, we know what you guys want. So therefore, we want to help you out. We want to get you out there, we want to get your name out. However, they want us to, compete with other colleges and stuff like that. Which we're not ready at the moment, but once we do,
That's in the pipes. Y'all are planning on it.
yeah, we're planning on it. That
Y'all are in the process of forming the team.
yes, we're in the process of forming a team.
Getting
so-
into the official league.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's called TESPA.
Yeah, TESPA. TESPA is basically like, competition for esports in college. TESPA can support from Overwatch, League of Legends, and Hearthstone. We got a whole bunch of people who are interested in that game. Whole bunch of people.
Hearthstone is the card game
Yes,
based on World of Warcraft and Blizzard's games.
Yes. So Hearthstone is like, for those of you who know Magic the Gathering, it's pretty much like that. You use mana to actually put down a card, and for each turn you gain more mana so you can cast more spells and stuff like that. I'm not into that particularly. I'm not really known in that area, but that's just the basic of it. And we have players that want to like form team for Hearthstone. So at the moment right now, we're actually trying to get 3 teams together to, go around colleges in the state or possibly around the country to compete.
So y'all are looking for players right now?
Yes, we are looking for players at the moment right now.
And so if you wanted to go get in contact with these guys, it would be facebook.com/groups UHCL ESports. That's their official page. And I see y'all are doing a 24-hour live stream to raise money.
Yes, so at the moment right now, we've been struggling with financial issues and stuff like that because we really, all the activities, all the events that we're hosting, it's coming from our money. That I believe they had 3 Smash tournaments. The first one happened like around October, November, I believe. I may be correct on that. But on the second one, it happened the day before, we went for winter break. The third one that we just had happened before spring break. So within those 3 tournaments, we actually got improvement, we actually got approved, we actually, we got positive feedback saying like, hey, we like how you guys run the tournament. For this one though, we're gonna make it, which is gonna be the 28th, we're gonna make this one paid. We're gonna actually have cash box, so we make it open to the public so that people can come to our tournament and compete. That's how we're gonna get recognized.
And is it going to be open to the public?
Yeah, it's gonna be open to the public.
So that's one thing I heard too. Y'all are talking about maybe like a league tournament too? Or,
Yeah,
and
so-
then opening that up to the public?
We're possibly gonna do that soon, but at the moment we're trying to focus on students only.
Yeah.
If once we get like everything together for students wise, then we can open up to the public like, hey, you think you're the best? You want to try it out? Come over here and try it out.
But I guess the mitigating factor is equipment and money.
Yeah, exactly. So at the moment right now, we get huge positive feedback and positive just feedback.
Did y'all have good turnout at your Smash tournaments?
Yes, we got
Smash Brothers, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Is this the N64 version or the
Oh yeah.
GameCube
Okay.
version?
So for all our tournaments from the past 3 tournaments that we had, it's only for Melee, the GameCube version, because that's been really popular from the from the locals and stuff like that. We're trying to do Smash 4, but we don't actually have the equipment at the moment. So we're trying to make it open to the public, saying that hey, if you bring your Smash 4, we're actually going to make it happen. At the moment right now, all we have is Melee.
Okay.
So that's going back to the financial issue with us, is saying that like, hey, we don't have much equipment, we don't really have much things to do. That's why we've been hosting a lot of Smash, so that people will actually come and be like, hey, you should do this and do that. So just an idea of what we should do next.
And y'all do have teams or I should say a Discord group where
Yes.
people can go and maybe meet up and make friends and find people that play the same game as you.
Yeah, exactly. So we
You
have
might see me on there playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know what Discord is, Discord is basically like TeamSpeak or Skype, but it uses less processing power for your computer to use, because like whenever you play any game with your friend on Skype, sometimes it might be laggy or it might be slow and stuff like that. But with Discord, it cuts the issue. So it's like a
Communication.
Yeah, it's like And then on top of that, we actually have a server. It's called UHCL ESports, and you can go on our you can go on our Facebook page and find it. It should be in the information link on the right side.
I'm gonna change that right now.
Right there.
Yeah.
There you go. And it has our information. It has our Test Plus sign up link, our Discord, our Twitter, email if you want to contact us, Snapchat if you want to see what we're up to, Instagram, same goes for Snapchat, and Twitch. So I'm gonna go back to the 24-hour live stream.
Yeah.
Now, for the 24-hour live stream, we're gonna be hosting it on Twitch. UHCL _esports. If you don't know where is it at, then or in case you forget, you can just go on our Facebook and check on the information on the right side.
And that is April 21st, 10 a.m. to April 22nd, 10 a.m. And y'all are going to be streaming 24 hours straight. Is that one person? Y'all are going to take
Oh,
turns?
no, we're going to be taking turns. Okay, so.
I mean, are we going to watch everything? Is there going to be bathroom breaks?
Oh, okay.
No intimate is this.
So we're gonna have like a whole bunch of games we're gonna be playing, such as we're gonna have speed runs. We're actually doing a speed run for one of the games that one of our board members are gonna do. He might do either Ratchet Clank or Jack and Daxter, the first ones.
Okay.
He trying to do it as fast as he can, since getting 100% completion.
Yeah.
Other people might go play Overwatch, and we actually have like a GM for Overwatch. If you don't know what that is, it's actually like above average, like you're one of the best players.
Okay.
We actually have him gonna be streaming, just coaching, telling us like, hey, this is what you need to do, or just playing games overall.
Yeah.
For me though, I'm gonna be doing some random games that I feel like playing.
Yeah.
We're gonna have.
There's going to be some variety. It sounds like
we're gonna have like a whole bunch of
everyone.
stuff. Yeah, we're gonna be playing a whole bunch of party games, action games, guitar rhythm games and stuff like that. Yeah, we might be playing a scary game just to have like people that are really scared let them play so we can see their reactions and stuff like that. Yeah, we're gonna be having a whole bunch of stuff like that. But in return, we want to make money so that we actually provide as much as entertainment for the school.
And you want to get some computers or something?
So for the computer part, we've been talking to one of our advisors, and he's been contacting a whole bunch of people that works for the school, like computer labs and stuff like that. And at the moment, we really can't use those computers because the games that we want to play are not powerful enough to actually play.
Yeah.
And the only games that I can think of is either League of Legends or Hearthstone, but I believe those games are fine at the moment right now, because as Overwatch is getting huge and Tesla want us to compete in the competition, we actually want people to actually try out for scrims for Overwatch and stuff like that. But those computers that we have is not powerful enough for us.
So you need to have a good computer yourself.
We need to have a good computer. And on top of that, the connection for the school is like.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna. Yeah, let's not get to the Wi-Fi or actually LANs connection and stuff like that. But we actually we've been talking to a lot of people, especially the IT department, saying that if you guys want to do like a LAN party or like a LAN scrim competition, they'll actually give us a room that was actually reserved for LANs only.
Well,
So that's our upcoming future.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot going on. So
Definitely be on the lookout for that. When is it again? It's April 28th.
April 28th is the Smash Brothers tournament.
Yes,
And there's prizes and money and
Yeah.
maybe not money. Maybe not money.
No, it's gonna be money.
There's
Oh, it's
money.
money.
Okay.
It's
And
gonna be
it's a
money.
paid entry.
It's a pay entry.
So
But if
that's
for
where the money
casual,
comes from.
but for the casual type, you're free to play and stuff like that. But if you want to compete in the tournament, that's a pay entry.
Okay.
We
So
all-
you can go just test out your skills with some.
Yeah,
some
test out your
pros out
skills.
here.
Yeah, I'm not really good at the game, but I've been playing a lot recently, and I actually played with some of the pros out there that competed one of the best Smash player in Texas. Kohai, for example, he came to our tournament. He's number 14 in the state.
Oh wow.
And yeah, we actually have him come to our tournament and we actually got positive feedback saying like, hey, you guys host a great tournament. This is possibly one of the best tournaments that I've been to, and we're really shocked coming from coming from somebody who been in the competitive scene for a while, for like a few years, something like that. I mean, honestly, he won the tournament. Obviously, yeah, he won the tournament, but like from that feedback, we want to actually make a cash prize to bring more people involved, because at the moment We had like 18 people competing in the tournament, stuff like that.
Okay.
Our grand prize was like $25 game over gift card. But we want to expand more from that. Instead of a gift card, we actually do cash prizes. So that's our idea, or that's our way to actually draw people, because most of the people want to go to tournaments, either just try out their skills, see where they're at, or just playing.
Yeah, just have some fun.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me, I would compete, but I'm already broke.
Such as the
Yeah.
typical college student.
Yeah, I'm one of the college students saying that like, oh yeah, I want to do this office stuff, but for the weekend, I look at my wall and all I see is dust and dust. And I'm like, whoa, damn. Sorry, friends, I can't go.
But esports sounds like a very interesting thing that's happening here at UHCL, and it may be our first sports team, so that's gonna be pretty awesome. So definitely look up the esports team on Facebook and check out their 24-hour live stream and other things that they have coming up. So thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, so have fun. Have a good one. You too.
So, to wrap up, I think that this is a really interesting venture. How do you guys feel about it? Would you do esports? Now that you've heard this, would you try out the 24-hour?
I stick to World of Warcraft.
So,
I just
I was pretty interested to find out that they do play a bunch of games, and that if we do, have an esports team, an official esports team at UHCL, that they'd be playing 3 different games, because that was one of my biggest questions.
Mhm.
Is like, when you have a esports team, it's like, do you play one game? Do you play all of them? So it was really cool.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised they had 70 members in their
I
club.
know. I
That's a
heard that. I was
lot.
like, that's quite a bit.
So I'm not surprised that esports is doing so well here.
But they have room for casual people too.
Yeah, and that's
And that
Make
awesome.
was-
some friends
yeah.
and meet some people. Or...
If I would go just play on the side, because I
Yeah.
would just lose my money instantly.
That's where I am.
So moving on, we're going to talk about the UHCL parking situation, which actually, Leif, you brought up to us in the last meeting. Well, what are your concerns about this?
It's like, let's use our blinkers. Let's not follow people through the parking lot, stalking them, all creepy like.
Crystal.
Let's look both ways before we go, and go the speed limit.
Have you
Those
had
are my
like
concerns.
a lot of bad situations?
Let's not get into this.
My thing-
I'm maybe a little bit of a road rager, but I don't do anything about it. I just see it inside.
You just-
like, I hate you.
With all your water bottles.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're still there.
This might be a little wishful thinking, but I think I think there's a decent amount of parking. You may not get a convenient parking spot, which is always mostly the case. And I think it'd be really cool if there was maybe like a covered walkway, because anytime it rains, even if it's just lightly
Yeah.
sprinkling, you're gonna be, just.
We do have those nice
Drenched.
umbrella things. The
And
umbrella
those
bags,
are
pretty
those are
awesome.
nice. But it would be nice to not have to carry an umbrella
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
sit in class with the soggy umbrella next to you.
Jeans completely wet, socks are cold.
Yeah, the umbrella doesn't really. How
Cover
much
your
does it
end
do?
of- unless
I
you
try
have
to
one of
cover
the
my
huge,
backpack with it.
unless you have one of the huge golf umbrellas, you're really just covering, like your
Yeah.
backpack and your
When I
shoulders.
use an
and
umbrella, it
things.
just like, I'm fine, but then my backpack's completely
I think I did read in the 10-year master plan that they were talking about, improving the parking. So hopefully that.
Which I hope they do, because we're going to be having like the dorms and these 2 new buildings in the next year or so. And so if you don't, they're not having any plans for parking, building parking lots for those. So where are they supposed to park?
Yeah.
Because we already have a situation now. What's the situation going to be like in a year from now when you have more students and
Well, maybe the question here is not whether we need more parking, but whether we need more public transportation. Maybe
Yeah,
bus systems or light rail in Clear Lake. What?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Right through the forest.
It would be scenic. It would be very scenic.
The deer. Yeah, at the last STA meeting, they took a vote because apparently the parking committee wants to add more faculty parking in Lot D. And 45 people at the STA meeting voted against that. They don't want to give up their parking spots. So
Well, I agree. I mean, I understand, but if you're not gonna build more parking, then why are you just gonna take it away from us and give them priority?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I mean, they get paid to be here. We
That's true.
pay to come here.
They also have to pay for parking. From what I understand, the parking is a little bit is more expensive, considerably more expensive.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if they would consider like a parking garage.
yeah,
I think that would.
that would solve the problem of not having to chop down more trees
That would,
and
yeah.
get rid of deer habitat and
Mm-hmm.
you know.
would just go up.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I think they should consider is maybe having a parking garage. It kind of alleviates the situation a little bit, and you know it preserves our wilderness that we're on.
And that parking lot by the NOAA building, am I saying that right? The NOAA building? You could, I mean, if you built a parking garage there, it wouldn't disturb anybody. Nobody parks over there. Except the NOAA people, but there's like 5 people over there. Sorry, guys.
Is that a fact?
Okay.
Alternative facts.
An alternate. We'll contact them to verify there's more than. It'll be like there's 6.
Sorry, guys.
How
There's
dare
6
you.
No, but I love what you do. I really do. Y'all are awesome. It's beautiful over there. You know,
But
love the
maybe
flowers.
they're not even a
I'm
parking.
serious here.
Yes, it's very serious. And on the last note, really quickly, I know Lindsay has to go, but finding new music, that's been a thing that you're also concerned about. You have a lot of concerns today.
Trey brought this up. It was from a Facebook post of Trey is sick. He's not here.
He's not, which is unfortunate, because he was really excited about the esports
He
one,
was.
but
He
you know,
was.
sickness comes first. And, you know,
So
you
he's
gotta
probably
get
playing some
We are sitting in a
esports.
pretty
and-
confined room. I wouldn't want to be
Yeah,
sitting
I know,
in this.
no,
Thank you for
yeah.
staying home, Trey. But no, so finding music, yeah. I guess these are all my topics.
Yeah.
Finding music. So I
Nice.
download music, or I downloaded music illegally. Okay, I admitted it there. You know, I have a problem.
And where
Maybe
do you
no, I
live?
had a problem.
And it
I'm
happens
over
to be
it.
an officer walking by. And
My
What's
website.
your address?
My website that I use, it's called what.cd. I mean, I can disclose this information. It got closed down. It was to say the least, it was an oasis in the internet of music, awesome music, every kind of music. And so I don't know what to do since it's gone.
Well, I find music through YouTube. So like I'll click something and it's basically like a rabbit hole where you're just clicking and clicking and clicking until you find new stuff. And then if I like it enough and I'm willing to pay for it, then I'll buy it on iTunes. But most of the time I'm not willing to pay for it, and so I'll just save it and then go back to it and listen to it again later.
I use Spotify. I pay for it.
That's Spotify.
So they have like the Discover Weekly, and they have
Yeah.
like little mixes that are made just for you and what kind
Yeah.
of music you already have on your playlist. And then they have like new releases. They have the top 40 in America and the US. So that's what I use for that, just to see what's new, what's out.
Yeah,
And I mean, I love Spotify. Spotify is
that's what I use now too.
But I'm not a very adventurous person when it comes to music, so like I'm very loyal to my music choices. So it's like
I'm
if
stuck
I
on
like
1069.
if like I like a station, then I'll stick with that station. Or if I like certain artists, I'll stick with that artist. I very rarely venture out unless it just happens to fall upon me. Otherwise,
That's why I liked torrenting so much, is because I could look through the list of like things that were recently added to the website, and so I could be like, okay, new music, and you have all the metadata. You have way more metadata than Spotify has. Like these different obscure genres where you can, psychedelic trance, uplifting psytrance, like you've never heard of that, or like witch house, or. There's these weird, obscure genres that if you dig, you can't find it on Spotify, or you can, but it's hard to get a good,
get that specific.
a good gamut of what's out there. But you can, so that's what I like about torrents is you go beyond that commercialization, beyond like who has the license to put this music out, and so you don't have to go to iTunes to listen to one artist that's not on Spotify, or maybe they're on Pandora, or you have to download it directly from them. So you have to go to all these sources, and that was just a nice place to have it. And I learned a lot of different types of music, and I discovered tons of artists. I have probably about 500 gigabytes of music on my hard drive.
Wow.
So and that's across other hard drives. So I don't know the grand total. It's way up there. I had probably downloaded like a terabyte of music and 2 terabytes of movies before I stopped. So
I feel like this is really illegal.
no, I mean, it was
Notice
almost
how
like
Crystal
an
is
addiction.
not talking.
Yeah.
Can I put that out there?
It was
I know
almost like an
nothing of
addiction.
this.
Sure. Johnson.
I would sit for 3 or 4 hours at a time and just new artist. Okay, cool. Oh, that's a cool
You
genre.
get sucked
And,
into
like,
it.
and it was like this web of stuff. But I'm loyal to these artists, and whenever they come to town, I go see them and I give them money.
That's
and
good.
so I think
Yeah.
like twerking isn't necessarily stealing. It's sampling.
It's getting you open to maybe something you would have missed.
And it's maybe if it's like instead of just seeing something you don't like on YouTube and just doing away with it, maybe you can come back to it later and you can be like, hey, maybe this isn't as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I found with most songs, like especially like the newer ones you hear on the radio, like 104.1, like the Lord song just came out. What's it, Green Light or whatever? Like I listened to it the first time, I was like, this is crap. I listened to it a second time, I was like, it's okay. And then the third time, I was like, okay, I really like this song. And so it takes a while. It's like if it's constantly like.
I'm trying to get into John Mayer now because I heard him play a tribute song to Charlie Murphy with Dave Chappelle there. It was like really emotional. It was an amazing song. He's so great at piano. But then I go back to try to listen to some of his other music and I'm like, you can't do it, John. Like whenever you're singing other people's stuff, it's good. But
when you sing your own shit.
I felt like MySpace
So
used to
I'm
be
still
like
working
that
on
though.
Yeah.
MySpace, like you could find music on there that you
That's
wouldn't know about. Like I remember listening to Tila Tequila, like
oh jeez.
from MySpace, you know.
And I'm probably guilty of that as well.
But you wouldn't hear that on the radio.
Yeah, I actually went back to try to find some of my friend from high school's old music from their high school band that they had uploaded to MySpace, and it was there, and I found it, and it was like, you can go back and listen to that, so it was pretty cool. But
And look at your old pictures.
no, I can't find my old profile. It's probably long deleted.
My old profile exists somewhere. Lost in space.
But
MySpace.
so I use things like Bandcamp and Spotify, and that's what I'm using now. Bandcamp's really cool because you're giving money directly to the artist. And,
Oh, that's nice.
and there's student discounts for Spotify. You get $5 a month.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
$5 a month student discount. Yeah.
I mean, I'm
You
gonna
gotta
search
graduate
for
in a
these.
month,
There's a lot of
so.
student discounts.
But you keep your .edu email for 2 years
Yeah.
Oh,
after you graduate. There's a fun fact for you guys.
okay, cool.
Yeah, and if you work for the school at all, you can get a staff email. You get staff discounts.
Well, I'm on
We can
that.
talk about this in the next
This
episode.
sounds even better.
I can give you all the scoop on the discounts.
Oh, yeah. No, you're,
'Cause
you're giving the scoop
I
right
have-
now afterwards.
I have
Yeah.
straight windows. I got $10 for the entire Microsoft Office suite. $10 for a year of all of Adobe CC, the whole cloud, anything.
What?
So the options are out there.
And now we know about seeking arrangement.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely a student
Well, I'll
discount.
go ahead and tell you about it now. It's called On the Hub. We'll throw that on there at the end. On the Hub. School has a thing through them and you can get discounts.
Definitely provide the links to those.
Yeah.
Those. Oh crap! Wait, is it? I don't think it's recording. Just kidding.
Oh my god. Oh my god, April Fools.
Just kidding. A late April Fool's joke.
Oh my
This
gosh.
has been Signal Soundbytes. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you in about 2 weeks. Adios.
Have a good one.
Crystal says something.
Okay, bye.